Studying today about the Mah Nishtana. That's what we're studying today. And the question is, going through the Mah Nishtanos, yesterday we did the preamble, Mah Nishtana Layla Zemikol Halelos. And the first question is, Shebekol Halelos, on all nights, Anu Ochlin, we eat Chametz Umatzah. On all nights, we eat Chametz and Matzah. On this night, Halayla Zeh, Kulo Matzah. On this night, it's all Matzah. So the phrase that there is a lot to talk about on the phrase, no other nights we eat chametz and matzah. It's a little bit of a difficulty because really we don't eat matzah on all other nights, but we can eat chametz and matzah. But on this night, kulo matzah. It's entirely matzah. What does that mean? On this night, it's entirely matzah. So there are several explanations of this. Let's go focus on this phrase. On this night, it's entirely matzah. So the Ravan, the early German Tosafist, says that it means that the bread that is placed on the shulchan, on the table, is only matzah. That's what it means. Simple explanation. The Rokeach, in English, the perfumer, 13th century German Tosafist or German pietist, writes that the reason why we say kul matzah, because on this night, we only eat matzah, meaning to say, no other foods. How you doing, Jonathan? Good. The Or Yesharim explains that the obligation to eat matzah, is only until midnight. So how can we say that this night is entirely matzah? And he explains that chametz is prohibited this whole night and also the 7 days afterwards. And so therefore, this night is also matzah even after midnight. Another explanation is by the Shivcha Demara. He says, when it says, Alayla zeh kulo matzah, this night is entirely matzah, it means that's before midnight, but not afterwards, because the Exodus was after midnight. Okay, anyway, but on a deeper level, the Tiferes Shlomo, the Radomsker, he says like this: what does it mean, kul matzah? This hints to the fact that chametz represents. We're discussing the Mah Nishtana still, the 4 questions. And he says that when it says kul matzah, it hints to the fact that chametz represents a mixture of good and bad. But this night is entirely matzah, meaning to say that it's only good. That matzah is the good and chametz is the bad. And so this night is only the good. And he explains, that the Radomsker explains in his Haggadah, that in exile, they're all in exile. We're all under the authority of others, and also a person's speech, he's not able to speak holiness, and so therefore, with all of them, there is the miracle of Exodus every year, that we're able to conduct ourselves in holiness. This is one of the reasons why the Hasidic Jews really reject the state of Israel. The reason is because their whole theology is based upon us being in exile. So if we were going to be redeemed, if they recognize the state of Israel as a land of redemption, then they'd have to come up with a new theology. And so therefore, they're not ready to do that. That's, I think, my take on it. Probably be criticized if people listen to this. Okay. Furthermore, we talk about chametz umatzah. We find in the commentaries several explanations about this. The Rokeach explains that we ask that on all nights we eat whatever we want, whether it's chametz or matzah. But on this night, we only eat matzah, meaning to say we're obligated to eat matzah. Like it states, on this night you should eat matzah. Here, grab a Haggadah right in front of you. That Haggadah, this. So on this night, we're obligated to eat matzah. That's why it says on this night is matzah. And on all other nights, we eat chametz and matzah mixed together. But on this night, we only eat the matzah. Okay. Okay, come on, sit down. Baruch? Okay. Grab Haggadah. Beautiful. Well, join us. Join us, Baruch. No, not the Talmud, Haggadah. Aiden, the Haggadah for Pesach. Yeah. We're preparing for the Seder. We're opening up. We're discussing the four questions. The four questions. Where's Arik and Eyal? Oh, they're on the Zoom. Okay.
Which one do you think is best? Which one do you think is best?
Whichever one. Just you grab one. Okay, guys. Also, there's other people coming. Okay, so we're studying about the four questions. You have the page, the Mah Nishtana? Give it to me. I'll find it for you, Judah. It's towards the beginning, the four questions. Okay, so that you need to know. So we're just, here, right here, Judah. The four questions. Here, right here. Come on in. Here. So the four questions, we're in the middle of actually the second questions. Oh, the second of the four questions. Who wants to read the second of the four questions? You read the second one, Noam. By the way, we took a vote amongst the faculty of the yeshiva, and we liked that Noam started coming in the mornings also. The faculty voted. Wow. Why is he throwing shade? I do not like that. I don't like that. I came to cheer you on, and now you're knocking him down. No. No, he doesn't. Okay, go on. Wait 1 second. The first question is, on all other nights, we eat the chametz and matzah. On this night, we eat matzah. The second question is, okay, no, I'm reading the second question. Give it to Aiden. Well, no, give it to Aiden so he can follow along. You need it? Bring it to me, Aiden. I'll get you the page, Aiden. Aiden, if you can't find it, bring it to me. On all other nights. Here, give this to Baruch. Give it to Baruch. Hey. Tell them to stop screaming because they're disturbing us. Tell them they gotta be respectful. Okay. And also, do they ever hear of AirPods so we don't have to hear their Zoom? If they go upstairs, we won't hear them. Tell them to go upstairs. I don't know. It's not my business. Okay.
So why do they have to?
Okay. The whole point of Zoom is that you don't have to come. You put it on mute and turn the screen off. Everybody knows that. That's except for the people who turn the yeshiva Zoom. Okay. No, I'm read the second question. Well, that's the first question. On all other nights, we eat chametz and matzah. This night is entirely matzah, which is not actually accurate. But the rabbis of the Hasidic talk about how chametz represents sin and matzah represents purity. But now read the second question. And you're going to read the third question, Judah. Go on. Right, go on. So on all other nights, we eat sha'ar yirakot. Thank you, Aiden. Thank you. On all other nights, we eat on. Here are you? Grab Haggadah. Give Aryeh Haggadah. Give him one. I don't know if that's actually Haggadah. Let me see that. Is that say Haggadah?
Yeah.
Okay, give that to Aryeh. We're studying the Mah Nishtana, Aryeh. On all other nights, we eat other vegetables. But on this night, here, give it to me. So on all other nights, we eat other vegetables. On this night, we only eat maror. So what do we think about this question? Is there any questions you might have about it? So there are questions. First of all, exactly. That's a great question. On this night, we have already eaten another vegetable. What vegetable have we already eaten at this point? What? What? Karpas. We've already eaten the karpas. What's the karpas? What do you use at your seder? Celery, parsley. And my seder, you know what we do? French fries dipped in ketchup. Yeah.
Isn't a French fry a fruit?
French fries are fruit.
Potatoes a fruit. Yes, it is. Potatoes are fruit.
Okay, wait 1 second. So that's a good question. No, potatoes, first of all, potatoes are not a fruit. It's a root vegetable, Judah. But second of all, it has to be a borei pri adama. So you could use potato chips or potatoes in French fries. You dip it in the ketchup. Ketchup is vinegar. Judah, that was not a value-added comment, although in general you do add a lot of tremendous value, but that comment was off. Potatoes are not a fruit. Okay, so on all other nights, we eat. So what does it mean on all other nights we eat other vegetables? On all other nights, tonight we also eat other vegetables. We eat maror. We eat karpas. So what does that mean? So how do we answer this question? Anybody have any answers? So, no, but the very specific question, we said on all other nights we eat other vegetables. On this night, maror. So, no, but the question that we're asking is, isn't this question off? Because tonight we also eat other vegetables. That was Aiden's question. So Rashi's answer, it's not actually Rashi. It's a commentary attributed to Rashi. Do you wrestle also, Brooke? No. Soccer? Okay. We need people in soccer too. Soccer's good sport. Yeah. Okay, so this night, even the sweet vegetables that we eat are considered like maror. Because as Jonathan was saying, we remember through them. Here, grab Haggadah. Are there any more Haggadahs? Yeah, right in front of you, Jonathan, there's Haggadah. We're studying the Mah Nishtana, Ezra. Because on this night, we remember what the Egyptians did. So even the sweet vegetables that we have are considered like maror. We're remembering the bitterness in our midst. Bitterness. Have you ever been to a Seder, Brooke? None of your friends have invited you? You ever hear of Jesus? Jesus had a Last Supper. That was a Seder. That was basically on Passover. The Torah says we're supposed to get together and eat a Paschal lamb. So the Jewish people celebrate that. Since that time, when we were in Egypt, we celebrate every year, and we get together and we retell the story of the Exodus. And at the beginning of it, we ask 4 questions. And the second of the 4 questions is, on all other nights, we eat other vegetables, but on this night, we eat maror. And Aiden correctly pointed out 1 second. That's not accurate. On this night, we also eat other vegetables. We don't only eat maror. So, Kobe, come on in, grab a Haggadah. Are there more Haggadahs? Actually, over there, if you know, no, that's not Haggadah. Aiden, if you go to that bookshelf, there's more Haggadahs. Kobe, did you sleep here last night? What? You did?
He said he did not.
You did not. All right. Well, you were missed. What's the problem, Aiden? There should be more there, but okay. There's nothing weird about these Haggadahs. They were my family's Haggadahs. Give them to Kobe, please. There's nothing weird about that. Yeah, no, I was offended. Okay, go on. So on all other nights, so that's Rashi's answer, that even the sweet vegetables we eat tonight have a bitterness associated with them like maror. The Ritva explains that on all other nights, we begin the meal with sweet vegetables that make us ready to eat more. But this night, we begin the meal with maror, which is not actually accurate because we began the meal with karpas. So So the Rokeach says, on all other nights, we don't really care if we have the maror. The maror is, what vegetable are you supposed to use for maror? So the ideal vegetable, the horseradish is okay, but the ideal to eat is, the Gemara says, what's the most appropriate vegetable to eat? Anybody remember from last year? What do you use at your Seder for maror? You all use horseradish? Beets is for carapas, maybe, but beets is, well, horseradish they sometimes mix with beets, but you're not supposed to do that for your maror. The most appropriate thing for maror is the romaine lettuce. What?
But that's
No, the Gemara says it starts off bitter and then becomes sweet. And that's like what happened to us in Egypt. It started off bitter, but it became sweet. What do you think of my hat, Brooke? You like it? Yeah. If you guys invite me into your school, I would come in dressed like this.
I mean,
why can't you invite me into the school to give a talk and I'll come in like this? Yeah. I don't know. Whatever. I got nothing to talk about. Okay, so then the Rashbat says that on this night, we're obligated to eat maror, meaning to say, even if we eat a lot of other vegetables, on this night, we have to eat the maror. And finally, one last answer from the Abrabanel. I think Jonathan has the Abrabanel's Haggadah. Who has the Abrabanel? No, you don't. Who has the Abrabanel? Maybe Aiden has? Who has the Abrabanel's Haggadah? Yeah, Abrabanel. What's yours? Oh, yeah. So Brooke has. So the Abrabanel was he was the treasurer of Spain, and when the Jews were exiled from Spain in the 15th century, he had the option of converting to Christianity and staying, but he chose to leave with his brothers who were exiled. You know who else was exiled at that time in the 15th century when the Jews were exiled? That's what they say. Okay. So another question is, on all other nights, we don't have to eat vegetables. Do you always eat your vegetables on all other nights? Judah doesn't eat vegetables. Even vegetables that he thinks are fruits, he doesn't eat them on all other nights. So why does it say that on all other nights we eat other vegetables? Because so it means to say that on all other nights we don't look for the maror, but this night we specifically look for the maror. Okay. Now, why does it mean on this night you have that text? Does any of you have this text? Look at it again. On this night we eat other vegetables. Halayla hazeh. What do you have after the word hazeh? Halayla hazeh. No. Shabakol halaylot anu ochlin she'ar yirakot. Halayla hazeh. Maror. Very good, Judah. You redeemed yourself. Excellent. But anybody have a different text for that? On mine, does anybody have the word halayla hazeh kulo maror? Does anybody have that? In mine, that's the previous question. We're up to the next question. Halayla hazeh kulo maror. Does anybody have that? Nobody has that. So some have that text. Some have that text. So some say that this refers to that you have to read all these questions symbolically. And this refers to us being in exile. And exile, what does exile mean? What? Well, Exodus would be leaving. Exile is when we're not in the place where we're supposed to be, where we want to be. And spiritually, we're all in exile now because we have to be searching for the place we want to be. Right? Don't we want to be in a place that's better? And you might think, I'm in the perfect place. And if you think that means you're not pushing yourself to be more. Doesn't mean you need to leave this city. It means personally, you always have to be improving. You always have to be looking to improve, that you're never happy with your place. I mean, not that you're unhappy, but you're never satisfied with your place. Aiden, you're asking a very deep question. So that's what Aiden says. Well, what about when the Mashiach comes? You don't need to improve? That's actually a deep question, which takes me into a very special theory I have that I'm afraid to share publicly because people will call me a heretic. But even though this is going on the YouTube, I'll share it. when the Mashiach comes, will we achieve perfection? Will we be perfect when the Mashiach comes? Of course not, because there's only one entity in this world that's perfect, and that's Hashem. So even when the Mashiach comes, we'll need to be striving to improve. Mashiach is about bringing us to the place of perfection, but it doesn't mean we'll be done. So even when Mashiach comes, we'll still be striving to bring Mashiach. So Mashiach is the concept. This is where it's a little dicey, but in my opinion, Mashiach is more than it's a man. I'm not denying the fact that it could be a man, but more than that, it's a concept of achieving spiritual perfection. And that's something we need to work for our whole life. We can never be satisfied and say, oh, Mashiach has arrived, our work is done. That we can never say. Because a lot of people will say, let me explain it to you like this. Maimonides says one of the principles of faith is what? That you need to believe in the coming of the Mashiach. That's what Maimonides says. So can a cardinal of faith ever change? No, it can't. So that means the Mashiach can never come, because you always have to believe in the coming of the Mashiach. So even if Mashiach's here, you have to believe that Mashiach can still come. And that's weird. It does make sense. Meaning, even if Mashiach comes, you're still working to bring a better Mashiach. Not that there could be multiple Mashiachs. That's not what we believe. But you're always striving to achieve a spiritual perfection. And you can never achieve that. That's my point. You can never achieve it. So Mashiach represents working for spiritual perfection. Like Mashiach, when Mashiach is here, peace will be here. But what does that mean, peace will be here? We're never going to have complete peace in this world. Because you can always come closer to Hashem. So that's what I'm saying. It's a you have to really think about it in a deep manner. And if you think about it in a deep manner, you'll know that Mashiach can never come, because we always have to believe in the coming of Mashiach. Mashiach is a concept to be working towards. Now, I'm not saying that I believe this. I'm saying that if I wasn't afraid of saying something heretical, that's what I would say. But since I won't say that, so I'm not saying that. Everybody follow that? Okay, Baruch Hashem. You see, let me ask you a question about the shtreimel. Should I wear it like this or like this? You have to wear it like this, right? But this hurts a little bit more. No, I know. I'm going to put a patch here that says the Israel flag, and over here it's going to say Tzahal. That's all. This is green. No, IDF uniforms are not camouflage. They're olive. And this guy says to me that this is the closest he can get to olive in this material.
Are you still working the diamond?
I mean, I feel like I have enough props for now, but maybe in the future years. I feel like I have enough props for now, right? No, I can't just keep spending money on props. A shtreimel is very expensive. F3. No, actually, it wasn't. The others were more. Yeah, I just didn't know how to negotiate properly the other ones, but now I'm learning each time. Okay. No, this one doesn't really fit right, if you ask me. Okay, because it hurts a little on my head, but we do the best we can. Okay, let's go to the next question. Well, Judah, you read the third question. Are you the youngest in your family? So you're going to ask the Mah Nishtana, whoever's the youngest in your family.
The Seder we have with like lots of my relatives come in sometimes from Israel.
Well, nobody's coming in from Israel this year, honey. Okay, so you're going to have extra space at your Seder. Okay, go on. So on all other nights, we don't dip even once. But on this night, we dip twice. So anybody have any questions about this? About this concept? Hello, Eitan Eyal, you guys have the Haggadah? Okay, we're studying the Mah Nishtana. So what's your question about this? First of all other nights we also dip. You ever go to Israel? All they serve are dips. Salatim and dips. How do you say dips? Salatim and hummus and tahini, they all serve dips. So what do you mean on this night we don't dip even once? They double dip all the time. They don't even put serving dishes in their foods. So how do we answer this question? You follow the question, Aiden? No, I'm asking you a question, not to read. I forget. The question is, on all other nights we do dip. So why do we say on all other nights we don't dip even once? On all other nights we do dip. I like your sweatshirt, by the way. True religion. So what does it mean on all other nights we dip? Oh, I don't like that. Thank you, Jonathan. That's terrible sweatshirt. Please, do you have anything underneath it? No, it's okay. I didn't know what it was. So on all other nights, we don't dip before the meal. We dip as part of the meal. Here we dip. Here the dips, but here the dips are before the meal. What are the dips? Karpas in Daltwasser and Maror in Charoset. So we dip twice. And all other nights, when we eat vegetables, we don't look for a dip. But on this night, we look to dip the vegetables. Okay. Anyway, there's a lot of questions about this. Some say that the dipping here refers to the washing of the hands. Okay. Here's some deeper ideas about the two dippings that we do on Seder night. What do you think the two dippings symbolize? The two dippings on Seder night. Very nice. What? Why is two temp? Why? So the Mara. Okay, so the two temples. Okay, these are very good answers. So the Rashi says that the first dipping is to wake everybody up to the fact that this is unusual. It's just to get everybody into the mood. Some say that let me just end with this: that there are three explanations written by the Das Dekanim on the Tosafos. The Das Dekanim was the commentary of Tosfos in the Middle Ages, and he says the first answer is because that everybody was able to partake in the Korban Pesach, even those who were acquired at that time. A second one is that there were two sprinklings in Egypt, one on the lintel and the second on the doorpost. And the third is to remind us of the two bloods which caused us to be redeemed. The mitzvah of two bloods. What were the two bloods that we did that allowed us to be redeemed? What? One is the blood on the door. And what? That's the blood on the doorpost. Very good, Judah. You and Aryeh both share. What? No, there's another blood that we did. What? That we did, that was a mitzvah. That was a mitzvah. Very good, Eitan. Yasha Koach, Eitan. The circumcision. And if you weren't circumcised, you couldn't partake in the Paschal lamb. So, okay, Baruch Hashem. All right, let's